Hello guys, welcome back. Today we'll do another UI design and this time is Rainbow Six Extraction. I came across this design not too long ago and I just fell in love with the whole design. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I just love the personality of the UI and I was thinking it would be really cool to recreate it just as a practice, and that's exactly what I did. I recreated this design and it wasn't, it's not a short kind of thing. So I was thinking maybe it would be just better to walk you through my process and pick out the elements which are more interesting for you, maybe, and explain what I did, how I did those things, like these panels here, or this VIP badge here, this nice little lens flare or light leak kind of effect, and the Lineworks maybe, and just show you how I made it, and then maybe I share the PSD file with you, so you can also download it and pick it apart, have a look, play with it. Okay, so let's see. Okay, there we go. So I have got my version here next to it, and I basically recreated, I think, everything. Like even these icons are, yeah, these are like all made in Photoshop. So sorry. So it's all done with Photoshop, everything. Yeah, except these artworks in the middle, obviously. Anyway, let me just turn all these off and then just walk you through the whole thing. So the background is basically just this solid color. Not that, sorry. So you can go to your layer panels here and then solid color. All right, so that's how I made it. And then the whole thing, all these gradients in the middle, these are just gradient overlays. So if I turn them one by one off, you can see them. Okay, let me just open one of them and then you can see it's a gradient overlay, and I use this light blue color here. And what I did, I just used the radial style gradient, and you can basically drag these gradients around. Sometimes it doesn't work, and if that happens to you, you need to basically just close the layer, go back in, and then it should be all good. You see now I'm moving the one on the left here. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to cancel that. I also add a cloud layer. It was basically just kind of like going into the filter, adding render cloud like that, and then just zoom out. Use the transform tool to kind of find a nice kind of look, and then just basically cut that out. Okay, you can just use the select all, and then it will make a selection of that the current screen, and then Command J to make a copy of that. You can remove the other one, and then just basically just change the layer blending mode. I think I was using soft light, and I went down to something really small, like something 10%, I think. Yeah, and then I added this level layer adjustment just to bring in the back, just to increase the contrast a tiny bit. But that's pretty much all what I did for the background. Yeah, let's move on to the line work. So the line work is really awesome. I just love these small details, what they added to the design. And these line work, some part of it moving. I think this line moves. These lines are like have this gradient going over them. These arrows are all animated. I think here, for example, the pluses are stationary, but these lines, they're moving, they're animated to move to the right. Anyway, that's pretty cool. So it was not too hard once I had the reference, and I just basically used a simple technique. It's just a pen tool. You use a light color, like the stroke I have is white, 2 pixel, and I just apply these dotted line. Okay, so, and then the settings of this line is -3 and gap 6. That's all I did. Okay, you see that's just that, and then you can reduce the opacity, of course, to like 30 or something like that, maybe even less than that. Yeah, let's go something like that. Perfect. The lines here are the same. Or the pluses are the same basically. I just use my shape builder tool here, and then just went down, zoomed in, and then just pull down one side, duplicate it, turn or rotate it, and then that was pretty much it. And then after that I just basically copied it over as many times I needed it. There we go. The line work is in the line work folder, and let me just turn this off because I don't want it. There we go. Try to name all my layers. So this is the top stroke, bottom stroke, and arrows, squares, and got this nice text on the side here. And interesting thing, I think what I did here is just used font, which is just a Roboto thin. And then I think one of the way I achieved this nice sharp look is changing the mode to crisp here, right? That's because if you go to sharp, you can see it's going to be a little bit, you know, chunkier, but the crisp looks really nice and sharp. Yeah, so that's pretty much it about the line work. Let's go to the top navigation. Here we are. Okay, so I had basically I made this logo quickly. That's very straightforward. And then I created two folders, one for the default normal top navigation menus, and one for the selected one, right, like this. And also made these VIP tag here. Why I have it twice? Oh yeah, I think I have it twice because I have it also in the selected one. Yeah, there we go. Nice, good. These notification arrows here as well. It's just a square shape basically, and then I just kind of rotated it like this, and then just use the pen tool to kind of remove the top bit, maybe bring it up a tiny bit. You know, I try to always just select one side and just align it to the pixel there, and then there we go. So it's a bit bigger, but you know, you get the idea. Oops. Let me just remove that, we don't need it. There we go. Okay, so let's go with the default ones. So the default ones are using this font here, Earbaum, and I use medium weight 24 point, and the color is this 829094. Okay, I mean there's no extra style on here on these default menu options. Only the selected one has got a backdrop, which is basically what I do with that. Normally I just create a shape, right, and then reduce the fill to 0 because we don't really need it, and just name it to base. Oops, base like this, and then just open the layer style and apply these nice gradients here. So first of all we have, I'm just gonna go and reset to default. Yep, there we go, gradient, and I use this yellow here, and actually I should have just used like this. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Yeah, and then change to linear. The angle is negative or positive 90. Yeah, and then reset alignment. Okay, and then you can basically, once you have this gradient, you could drag it down to the position you want it, or you could just yeah, I mean you can do that, or you can play with the gradient here. Okay, I'm just gonna go like this, go back to 100. Okay, nice and soft, something like that. And as you can see, there's a line on the bottom. So what I did, I just used inner shadow use that line color, this strong yellow, 100% opacity, and then you can just change the distance depending on how big you want to make that. And then that's basically it. You can see it's the same thing. The VIP tag is, again, just use a shape and drag out a rectangle and use the same kind of yellow, and then press P for pen tool. And if you hold down your command key and just drag out around the corner here, it will only select that bit, and then you can just basically just move it to the side as much as you want. I like to just go 10 pixel, and you can jump 10 pixel with holding down shift and right arrow. So something like that. That seems to be too much, so I would go back to maybe 8, 6. Let's go with 8 for now. Okay, that's fine. And then you can basically duplicate it. Again, press pen tool, hold down the command key, and then drag out just to isolate those anchor points, and just bring out, I don't know, like 5 pixel. Reduce the field to 30. Yep. And then one more time, duplicate this layer, pen tool, and select the side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And then you can bring it down to even like, I don't know, 15, I guess. That'll be fine. Yeah, so that's basically how I achieve that look. And then you'll just place the VIP text in the middle. Okay, so that's pretty much it. The social section, it's very simple. It's super simple. It's just basically everything is on one layer. Let me just close this and then open that. There we go. So this is the base here. It's just basically having this normal base layer with a stroke. I think it's like 2 pixel stroke, 2 pixel stroke. Yeah, there we go. And then yeah, so there's not much to talk about here. It's all pretty straightforward. Settings, it's the same thing with the settings icon in the middle. Currency, again, it's just dragged out this circle and then just put the RC in the middle for the currency. So it's just this base layer and then just the text, that's all. Okay, so let's go to the interesting part, which is the content. Let's go to the content. And as you can see, there's like 2 states, one of them which is the selected one and another one which is the available one. There should be another one, I think, should be one more, which is the unavailable one. And the unavailable one, it actually looks very interesting. I don't have a reference at the moment. Anyway, have a look. I might going to add that third state as well, but at the moment we'll just go with these 2. Okay, so let's see. So default ones here. So let's start with the selected one. Oh no, let's go with the default one. Let's go with the default one with the headgear. Okay, here. So it's just basically, okay, here we are. I have got the base layer, which is, let me just turn off the rest so I can have some more space. So I just had this same panel what I think what I used here. A tiny bit different actually, because I did use a different gradient on it. So I just dragged out this shape, added a stroke, which is basically 2 pixel OD2F40 color, and then I added inner glow, a color overlay, and a gradient overlay. Actually, I don't think I used the color overlay. Yeah, I didn't use the color overlay, but I did use the inner glow. The interesting thing with the inner glow that I basically changed from edge to center. I don't know if you can see it. Let me just well, yeah, I don't think you're gonna see it, but I increased the size. I don't think that matters too much. Anyway, if I would change it to maybe white there, then you would see it. Okay, let me just change it to white for now, and then I'll just cancel. So as you can see, from edge I change it to center because I want this nice little glow in the middle, and I use this noise which is 30%. And it was much better when it was a lighter blue, because with the white it's just super noticeable. So I would definitely reduce the noise here, but with the lighter blue is fine. So as you can see, if I cancel it, you can hardly notice it is there. If you zoom in, well, you're not gonna see it. I think you'll see it on the PSD when you open it, but it's really nice. It gives a really nice organic feel to the whole thing, which is awesome. And then I have my artwork in the middle here, which is basically just maxed into this layer here. If I would turn off the mask, you can see it, or it reveals the whole artwork, which I don't want, because I want it only to be in the actual panel. So I created that mask, and then I added this light leak or glow. These are very easy to make. You know, it's just basically use the marquee tool. Let me just create a new layer. Here we are. Just use a marquee tool, just drag out the rectangle, and then use something. Let's use this light blue from here, right? And then brush with something like a soft round brush, quite large, and then just kind of drag in. I mean, just like paint in a small portion of it, like that. And then you can basically turn off this and start playing with it, meaning you hold press V, and then with holding down on the option key you can drag out a copy, and then with the command T you can change the size of it like that, and then drag out another one, and again change the size maybe a tiny bit, and then you start playing with these, and then start building up your own kind of shape, you know, what you have, and let's say like this. And then once it's all done, you can just basically merge these together or convert them to a smart object, and then apply some sort of effect. I think I just applied motion blur, and let's see, I'm going to turn it like that, and then let's apply some motion blur. There we go. Let's use 45 degree, oops, not 45, like that, and then just start playing with it, you know, just like that. It will drag it out nicely for you. So only this already gives you a really nice effect, but you can also play with it because it's an actual smart object. You could use some sort of blurred areas, like let's say use a blur gallery and field blur, put down a point which is going to be, let's say, like something like 8, the middle one going to be 0 here, and then here again is going to be a bit larger. Let's add a tiny bit though, like that, something like maybe just in the middle, and then this goes down here. It'll create a really interesting effect for you, right? And then you can just press OK, and again using the same, let's just move it into an extra area, you know, like that. You want it, and then you just use this panel to mask out, so something like that. And then again you can turn off the mask. Oh, sorry, not like that. Actually, you can just paint on the mask, let's say with black, but something subtle, let's say like with 20%, something like that, large, and then just start, like, you know, just places you don't want it to be revealed, you remove it. Yeah, so that's how I build that up. I'm gonna open the smart object so you can see. I'll add a dark background so you can see. So these are just, I use the different colors, so that's why it just, I think, feels much better with this one. But it's the same idea. You have the same kind of layers, and then just drag them around and play with them until you achieve the look you want. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I mean it's right here, so that's why it's just not there. Okay, so that's pretty much for this panel. And then you add the artwork, of course. You add this nice shape in the middle, and then the text to the bottom. Okay, the selected one's going to be different because, let me just remove that because we don't need it anymore. Yeah, this one we don't need it. Yeah, we can put this back. So So this one here follows the same principle but use different colors. Like the base itself use obviously yellow. I'm not opening the correct one. There we go. Okay, that surprised me, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, because I have a double stroke. That was so unnecessary. Anyway, yeah, and we don't need this stroke at all. I don't even know we need this layer. Well, yeah, so I created this. Let me just turn off all these on the top so you can kind of see what's happening. Maybe better. Yeah, there we go. So I had the base, which is basically the same thing. I probably just copied, and then I created I put the artwork in the middle, add the lens, kind of like the light leak, and then I add this yellow overlay, which I called glow. And yeah, it does have a tiny bit of, well, got the stroke here, which is the yellow color what we were using for the VIP tag. Okay, and then we got this gradient overlay, which is from the bottom to the top, and I just used something subtle, 35 pixel, 35% opacity. Yeah. Okay, and a gradient in a corner here. Yeah, on this side here, and then the other side as well in the top corner, just to make it nice and soft. And then added the text, added the bundle icon. So these icons are all done in Photoshop. I didn't use Illustrator. Could have. It's much easier to create shapes there. The only thing I think what I don't really like, and there might be just me, I don't know something, but my problem with Illustrator is basically when I create a shape and then I bring it into Photoshop, it doesn't actually align it to the pixel. So I always end up having somewhere in the middle here, and then I'll have to adjust it, which is kind of defeats the purpose for me. So I might as well just create here, as long as it's not too complicated. Like this one is not too complicated. We just use a square, drag it out, and then just start pinching or taking parts away. So with another shape tool, holding down on the shift, you add to the shape. Holding down on the command key, option key, you basically remove sections of it. So let me just go back, drag out this corner, let's say like that. Yeah, and then you can rotate it. And so I like to move it down, but at the moment if you would use the arrow key, it doesn't go. So you need to press A, and then it will go to your selection tool, and then you can move it down. And once you're in the selection, let me just move it to a place I want it. Yeah, like here. Once you're in that, you selected the path selection tool, you can basically do different things with your option and control key. So if you hold on the for example, let's say I need to, yeah. So if you hold on the option, you see there's a little plus next to the shape. So that means you can make a duplication of that shape. So if I drag it to this side, it will continue to remove from my base layer. And if I do it again, it will just continue doing it for me. So it is fairly quick to do stuff like that. And then you can use your arrow keys to fine tune it. And then you can go back to your shape tool again. Sometimes you have to go back and forth, but you hold down on your option key and it will remove parts of your original shape like that. Let me just something like that. Yeah, we remove this, and then we remove this part here, let's say, and then I can go back to my path selection to hold down the option key, move it to the side, and then I remove this section here, go back to my shape tool, hold down the option, and then remove this section here, right? And then I can see that basically the top is larger than the bottom. So I could do either way, bring in this section or bring out the top section. But at this point I would need to finalize my design, meaning that you could still go back and adjust your shapes with your pen tool if you want to. You can basically drag one side out and just create something different, right? You could, this is editable with all the shapes you created. But if you go here and merge the shape components, that will create one unified merged shape, right? And now you can use the pen tool, hold down the command key, and actually I'm more lean towards bringing in this section here. Hold down shift and just, oh, that's too much, like that. And then do another part as well, just make it the same way, bring it in, and there we go. And then this bottom part here as well, we can just bring it up. So there we go. It's a fairly close design. I didn't put a lot of planning into it. I was just kind of eyeballing things, and you can tell because it's quite horrible, but you get the idea. Okay, let me just remove this and move on to the lines. So I've got these lines on the side, and these are again just shapes. So I will just basically creating a line, P to pen for pen tool, and then just select the top and move it to the side. And then with the V key selected or the move tool selected, you can just hold on option to create a duplication, another and another, and then you can go faster if you like select them, all of them, merge them, and then you move them to the side. It will just go faster, but yeah, you get the idea. So that's how I created this here. There we go. And I did these decoration lines. These are, again, what I did here. You can see I just built it up, the whole thing, just started to drag out things, you know, what I had on the reference. But to be honest, these are all animated and they're moving, so I just placed it the way I had it on the screenshot. But like this bit on the top, it moves, I think, and this bit on the side, it just feels random, but it moves up and down, which is really cool. So that's pretty much it for the selected state. Okay, another thing, I mean, this is the same as the top navigation. We're not gonna get into that because there's just no point. But what I wanted to do is this VIP tag here, because it has got this really cool effect on it. So I mean, you can just, because we already created the VIP tag for the top navigation here, we could just basically make a duplication of that, bring it down here, and then just kind of like increase the size, right? Like with the transform tool, going up to about, like, I don't know, like not too much, but like height, let's put it to 40, yeah, something like that. So once that's done, you need to add this glow here, which is literally just let's make an empty layer, name it to glow, and then with the brush, soft brush tool selected, something small like that, and this yellow color. Like, we need to build that up for multiple layers. So let's start with this first one. I'm just going to, not 20, but like 100. You can go 100%. I'm gonna go and just use this soft brush, the soft round brush tool. Okay, so once that's done, I'm just going to use my transform tool and then just squash it, just the top, and then just stretch it to the side, squish and stretch, something like that. You know, I want to make it like this, something like this. This is awesome, love it. And then you create another one underneath, and this is going to be the same kind of thing. Try to put it in the middle just to save you some time. Let's say I'm just going to be, okay, that's cool. All right, oh, that didn't work. Anyway, I'll put it down there and then squash it a little bit again. You can use your warp tool just to make it just be a bit less uniform, like that, and then just again, oops, squash it. That did not go the way I wanted it. Anyway, let me just try that. Okay, like that, and put it on the side like this, like that. Again here, good. And then you maybe make another one which is going to be just like in the middle and squash a tiny bit, but not like a lot, like this, and then remove it to something, remove the opacity to like 20, you know, like that. And then you could, at this point, let me just remove the opacity here as well, something like 50. I think that would work. This goes well, that's good. Let's merge all these layers, merge layers, and or actually you can just create a smart object out of them, and then maybe open the layer panel and add an outer glow, which is this yellow here, or something subtle. Let's go to like 40%, okay, something like that. And then you can play with the size, of course, because it's definitely too big. Let me just use it like that. Okay, and then just move it here. I'm kind of surprised that they put it underneath, but it's fine. I think it looks great. So let's just move it to the back, and I might have made it too small. So let's go back to 100% for now and see what happens. Yeah, something like that. This is fine. So this is what I wanted to show you with this design. As I said in the beginning, I'm going to share the video of the PSD file with you, and let me know in the comment section if there's another design you'd like me to do. I do this practice all the time, and it's just more fun if you suggest something like I think somebody told me dead loop. Yeah, that was my colleague Andy. He told me should do dead loop. And yeah, I think I might gonna give it a go. It looks very interesting, and definitely seems like a good challenge. So that might gonna be the next video. I'm not sure. I had different ideas in my mind, so let's see what happens. Thank you very much for watching, and please hit the like button if you like the video, because it's just that's kind of the only way to help the channel grow. I would like the channel to be more available for more people. Okay, all right, thanks for watching. Bye.